What is up, my friends? Welcome to my channel. Well, here's an update on my portfolio. We're at $217,235.26. And so as of recently, I have been selling options. So I've been selling puts and I've been selling calls. And I did sell one put and one call earlier today, as soon as the market opened. So I sold one put on QQQ. So let's take a look at that. If we open up QQQ and it is profitable, I will be receiving that premium for selling this put on QQQ. So let's scroll down and you guys will be able to see just how much I will receive in premium on QQQ today. So as you guys can see here, I will be receiving a $75 premium on QQQ today. Now, $75 may not sound like a lot of money, because, well, in reality, kind of it isn't really that much money. But uh, it took me about less than a minute to make $75 by simply choosing a strike price and a day for this to expire. So, making $75 like in less than a minute, not too bad, in my opinion, it's not too bad. So my strike price was a 620 strike price. And so as long as the price of QQQ stayed above 620, then my collateral, the money that's being held in collateral, is going to be given back to me. And so I thought that I was going to end up having to buy or own 100 shares of QQQ because I sold this put early in the morning, as soon as the market opened, right in this area right here. I didn't know what QQQ was going to do, so I immediately sold this put for 75 cents, 75 times 100, so that's $75. If I would have waited just a little bit longer, the price dropped to here. When the price drops, that's when a put becomes more valuable. So when I looked again at the options chain on puts, right here it was over $1. So I could have made more money, but you simply don't know. I didn't know what was gonna happen, so I decided to immediately sell a put. On other times when I've done this, selling calls or selling puts, I always hesitate. I hesitate because I wait to try to get in to try to make as much money as possible. And I just keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and I end up selling a put for even less than in the morning. So I figure that just sell the put, just sell it immediately, so that you're not waiting. Because if I would have waited to here, then that I wouldn't have got 75 cents. Of course, I could have waited a little bit longer, and down here you get $1, right? So I could have made a little bit over $100 today, but $75, not too bad on put on QQQ. So currently my collateral is being held, and soon I will be receiving that back. Usually it clears up by 9 o'clock tonight. And so if we go back to invest and we look at my buying power, you guys see here, my buying power is just a little bit over $137,000. Unlike yesterday when I was in almost a margin call. Yesterday there was like this little triangle with an exclamation mark indicating that I was close to a margin call. Currently my margin buffer is 27.92%. And there is some option collateral that is right here, over $85,000 currently of option collateral. Some of that is because of this put on Amazon. And of course, some of it is because of the put that I sold on QQQ. But soon I will be receiving all that collateral back, and the Amazon collateral, I should be getting that back by Friday, and I will be making about $97 on that Amazon put that I sold earlier this week. So yesterday I sold a put on SPY, and here's SPY. But as I mentioned in that previous video, that put was unprofitable. I did not make any money on selling that put. If we scroll down here, I didn't lose any money. Yeah, I didn't lose any money. All that happened is that I didn't receive that premium. So if we show more, we'll be able to see that this premium that I thought I was going to get, I did not get it. Here it is, $66 in premium. So I did not get that premium because I was assigned the shares. So this was the collateral. I did not get this collateral back. I was assigned the shares. Now, one really cool thing that I noticed that happened is I sold this put yesterday for a strike price of $6.91. So I assumed that I was automatically going to own 100 shares of SPY at a $6.91 strike price. But somehow I own the shares for $6.90 and 34 cents, I believe. So I ended up getting the shares for less than what I thought was going to happen. So let me show you guys once this loads up here. Hopefully it loads up pretty soon here. I'll show you my current average cost on SPY. So if we open this back up right here, I was assigned the shares. So now I own the shares. I own 100 shares of SPY. And so here it is. I own 100 shares of SPY at $6.90 and 34 cents. So somehow they actually sold me the shares for less than the strike price, which is pretty cool. Now, currently, I am down a little bit over $50 on this, but that's okay because I did sell a covered call today, which was profitable. So if we scroll down here, you guys will be able to see the covered call I sold. It wasn't for much, only $37. Also the same, if I would have waited a little bit longer, I could have got a better premium. But I always try to just sell immediately in the morning because otherwise I hesitate, and sometimes I've hesitated so long that I just get less of a premium. So I decided to just, go for it and get at least $37 today. Now, yeah, this isn't much money, but $75 from QQQ and $37 from SPY is $112. So I did make $112 today in minutes, right? In less than a minute, by simply choosing to sell one put and sell one call. So since I still own 100 shares of SPY, once again, tomorrow I will be selling a covered call on SPY. So if we look over here at the options chain, let's take a look and see what the prices are for tomorrow. So tomorrow we want to sell a call, and we want to sell a call on the 9th, which is tomorrow. So let's take a look here and see what the prices are. If we scroll down here, there it is. Okay. So the current price is $6.89 and 85 cents currently, but I own the shares for under $6.91. So if I sell a call tomorrow at $6.91, I could potentially make $167. This one. Now, if I want to capture a little bit more upside, because even with the 691, I will capture some upside. I'd say about maybe 60 cents of upside. So 60 cents of upside plus $1.67, that could almost be like a $200 profit on that. Now, if I sell this one, it would be even a little bit more out of the money. So the appreciation would be a little bit more because this is at 692. So depending on what happens tomorrow, if SPY goes up, then these become more valuable. So if SPY just rallies up, what if if it goes like even higher to 693, which I've seen it at, then these will be even more valuable. So if it goes to 693, I'll probably sell the 692. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing, maybe. Now, if it doesn't, and if it goes red tomorrow, then I'll just sell a call for whatever I can get at the 691. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Also, I will be selling another cash secured put tomorrow because I will be receiving that collateral from the option I sold on QQQ. So if we look here, you guys can see here that there's the collateral. So just like I mentioned before, I will be receiving like about I'd say about over $60,000 worth of collateral, and I will be using that to sell another put on QQQ. So if we look at QQQ, let's see what options are available for QQQ. So if we go over to QQQ, so currently QQQ is in the red. So when an ETF is in the red, usually puts are more valuable. So let's take a look and see currently what is available for tomorrow. So tomorrow I want to sell a put. I want to sell a put for tomorrow on QQQ. So let's take a look down here at the options chain, and currently right here, let's see here. Okay, the 620, which is the one I sold today, is now valued at $2.27. So that would be $227 profit. This one would almost be $200 profit. So that wouldn't be too bad at 619 at a 619 strike price. So depending on what happens tomorrow, the S&P did recently hit a new all-time high sometime this week. So it may be likely that the market may be coming down from that high. So if we look at here on SPY, if we look at the past week, this is the high right here. The all-time high currently is 693. So it dropped down to here, 687.66. Now from here, I don't know, this is kind of moving sideways here. But if we look 1 month ago, this was the previous all-time high right here at 690. And just a few days later, I'd say maybe like a week later, it went pretty low to the 683. So don't know if that's what's going to happen over here because it did hit a high and now it may be heading down. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I will be selling calls and puts in the meantime. So currently, so far, I've made at least about, since I started at the beginning of the week on Monday, I've made close to about $400. So once this put expires on Friday, on Amazon, this put I sold on Amazon, it should be closer to about $500 in 1 week from selling puts and calls, from doing options myself. So this is a 230 strike price, and the current price of Amazon is at the 245. So if we look at the actual price of Amazon here, Amazon stock, yeah, $245.98. Amazon has been doing quite well in the past week, in the past month. Yep, that's quite a pump right here. So previously, I owned like the Yield Max version of this. I also owned the Round Hill version of this. So if we look at um, the Yield Max version of this, it's right here. I put in a whole bunch of money on this. So I think this is probably even more riskier than simply owning Amazon stock and selling options myself. So if I was willing to own this from YieldMax, why wouldn't I be willing to just own Amazon myself and sell calls on it myself? Because if we look at this, if we look at the year to date, as you guys can see, this has just been in price. In price performance, this has just been in decline for the most part. If we look at total return, yeah, the total return is a different story, but in price return, this has just been declining. And so by doing this myself, I am trying my very best to maintain my principal. So this is my principal, and I'm trying my very best to maintain my principal. And since I'm doing it myself, I'm doing it in my own best interest to maintain my principal. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. Thanks once again. God bless. You guys have a great one, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye.